what did you make of today's closing arguments? And do you think that the prosecution overcame their standard of reasonable doubt in this case?
Well, the weird thing is that I think they're all right. And two things can be true at the same time in this trial. Honestly, Katie, this is what's so frustrating. She can be methodical. She can think through these crimes, and she can still be psychotic. And it can peak and it can diminish. And it can peak in those 18 minutes and go away beforehand and after. So if you talk to medical professionals outside of that courtroom, and I've talked to many and I've covered a lot of these trials, going back to Andrea Yates, they will all tell you that it's not a straight line, these, psychotic episodes. And so if the defense attorney, Kevin Reddington, was able to impart on this jury what I just said, then I think they legally could arrive at the not guilty. I say by reason of insanity. It's the not responsible language in, Massachusetts criminal code. But if they don't, and I think it's hocus pocus, then they will probably go for the top two counts, maybe the third.
So the judge gave the jury a lot of instructions, a lot of options today. What do you make of the judge allowing the option of manslaughter potentially?
It's everything. It's a whole ball of wax. Here's what's weird. I thought when I first heard that was a win for the prosecution, right? Because it gives the jury a jail compromise. Lock her up. I feel bad saying not guilty. I got to give her something. I don't think it's the top count, but I got to give her something. And then I realized it's actually a win for the defense, because I think the defense is more concerned that in this country, you just don't get a lot of insanity verdicts. You barely get attempts at an insanity defense. And of those very few attempts, very few actually succeed. So for the defense attorney, I think he's probably thinking, you know what, a compromise would at least give her max 20 years, probably won't get all of it, and then won't serve all of it. And as a young woman, she could get out with a manslaughter. So I think it's a win for the defense that it even got on the ballot.
So we obviously put a lot of faith in juries in this country. There's, they are having conversations that we're not privy to when the cameras are not rolling in the courtroom. But do you think that the emotional aspect of this case will impact the way that juries decide on a verdict? Or do you think they'll be able to stick to the instructions and the evidence that was presented over the past 5 weeks?
So it's a big question. I talk about us barreling towards a more perfect union at all times, and that holds true for jurisprudence, in my opinion, as well. I think in the Andrea Yates days, people called it the baby blues. Bullshit. It's not the baby blues. It's real mental illness. Postpartum is real. Let's just call it what it is, for God's sake. Get rid of the old, in with the new, because it's real, and we've evolved. Juries have too, and they bring their common sense when they go into the deliberations, right? So they get the evidence, they get the testimony from these experts that's competing, and yet they all have medical degrees, and oftentimes they're awash, because how is it that two experts with the same training can disagree? I guess it's possibly both true or none of it's true. Yeah. And so then they use their gut, and that gut is how we've evolved. How do we as a society view these things? Is it hocus pocus, or is there something to it? And I just wish I could have seen more of jury selection and voir dire.
I mean, we've seen this reach outside of the courtroom as well. We had, tons of women showing up outside the courtroom in support of Lindsay Clancy. The jury was not sequestered. Jury members saw that happening. Do you think that we would have seen this if a man were on trial for murdering his 3 children, that we see this support outside of the courtroom? I mean, obviously this has become a cultural conversation as well, but this is not staying just inside of the courtroom, as we've seen.
Yeah, I have completely moved away from that question, and I'll only say that because guys can't get postpartum. So
that's true. Fair enough.
Discussion to start with. Can they be insane? Sure. And I think there's a big argument to be made about, I think was it Travis Decker, who murdered his 3 daughters and then ran into the woods and left them with bags around their heads? Not one of us has ever said, but maybe he was insane. I think there is a really good argument to be made that he had PTSD. He was a veteran and he was insane. But we're not discussing it because it's not a trial. He killed himself a mile away. So, but I do think that what you're saying is, do women get a short shrift, or do they get an extra pass? And I'm going to be honest, I don't think they get an extra pass. I mean, we talked about Casey Anthony being slutty because she was dancing in a contest. I mean, how does that factor into evidence? It doesn't. I think women have always been excoriated for anything they do to children, more so than men. So I think it's a different argument with similar ideas.
Yeah. Before we go, I want to ask you, of course, about the idea that this woman's husband killed these children. There's been this movement online, including with celebrities getting on their platforms. They have a lot of followers, not even saying allegedly that the husband did this, but that he did it, and that Lindsay Clancy is completely innocent. You've watched this trial very closely. Have you seen anything presented by the defense at all that would insinuate that the husband was involved here, not to mention the murderer of the 3 children who are found dead?
Hogwash, and let's you and me commit to disabusing everybody watching and anybody who looks at our socials and anybody else we meet at the coffee shop that it is absolute garbage. The internet has a really dark, ugly underbelly. We've known that for years. It's just getting a little bigger and louder at times, but there's nothing to suggest that Pavlich Tonight did this. And I'm going to say this. If Pavlich Tonight had not made a motion to suppress his 911 call, which is guttural, horrifying, and it tells you that man is a horrified victim in all of this, then we probably wouldn't have had this ridiculous cacophony of morons saying these things. So maybe Pavlich might consider withdrawing that request to keep that 911 call suppressed and allow the world to hear what a real traumatized, horrified, victimized father sounds like. It ain't a murderer, I'll tell you that.
Well, certainly he may have some legal options of his own once this is all over. Ashleigh Banfield, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Hey, Katie, keep knocking it out of the park.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.